Hi everyone!
Hi!
And welcome back to our channel. Today we're gonna bake something out of this book I rented out of the library. And we wanted to try it out before we bought it because Jasmine saw it in the store and wanted to buy it, so we're trying it out first. We're gonna be making this cookie. It's a cotton candy sugar cookie. We're gonna make the icing, we're gonna make the sugar cookie, and then we're gonna put it all together. I'll put a link to the book in the description below.
The ingredients for the royal icing to start off, we're gonna be using icing sugar, meringue powder, and water to change the consistency of the icing.
Okay, let's get that.
All right, so we've got our little setup over here.
Ew.
Yum. Here's all our ingredients that we'll be using. All right, let's get right to it. So I said icing sugar. We'll need these measuring cups. What else? And meringue powder.
We got all the ingredients and now we are going to make the icing. We're gonna give you a view of us doing that.
We've got our 3 cups and 3/4 of a cup of icing sugar. We pre-measured that. We're gonna put in our icing.
Ooh! That's so good.
That wasn't supposed to happen. Okay, so we put in our icing sugar. We're gonna put in our meringue powder as well. And you know what? Do you have a whisk?
Yeah, right there.
So we're actually just gonna incorporate this by hand because it's going to make quite a mess if we just mix the powder with the
KitchenAid?
Yeah, with the KitchenAid. You're gonna put it down.
We're gonna put it on low.
Okay, yeah, put it on low speed. Oh, okay, that is pretty low, so it's fine. It's not making any difference. We're gonna have to have something to scrape the sides.
Yeah, I have it.
It says we're going to mix the water running on low speed and then add it until the mixture is moist and mixes.
It says in 1 teaspoon.
Yeah. No, you can add more, Mary.
I know,
She put in a little drop and she's like, is that good?
Oh, it's clumping, it's clumping.
It's fine.
Put more?
Sure. This is so cool. I've never used one of these KitchenAids before. It's on my wish list, so if any of you guys love me enough, gradually put that in. So we're gonna give this 10 minutes and we're gonna let it mix on low speed and then we'll come back.
It's looking good.
Yeah, it actually is.
Yeah.
That meringue powder is magic. Pause it temporarily because I need to scrape down the sides, and I just wanted to make sure that all the icing was well incorporated because the rest that's being mixed in there is stiffening, but the one that's stuck inside isn't. So just gonna sort of reset that, get some of it out, and then scrape down the sides to make sure that all the icing sugar is also in there and it's well incorporated. There we go. Now we're gonna turn it back on. The 10 minutes is up, so we stopped the mixer and lifted it, and there is our stiff peak. So I think the icing is ready to go.
I changed because I was like way too hot in that sweater.
I've got all my flour in here, and I measured out my 1.5 teaspoons of salt. So I'm just gonna put that in the bowl of flour. And then we are going to whisk this together again. Now we've got our butter, and it's supposed to be at room temperature, so we had it left out. But one part of it is still a little hard. It's pretty cold, so we're just gonna warm it up for a few seconds, but not by long. All right, so I've got my butter in the cup, and now I'm going to warm that up for about 10 seconds. The butter is feeling still a little hard, so I'm gonna put it in for another 10 seconds. Okay. I probably wouldn't have popped that in for 20 seconds straight because then it would probably melt in some parts. So you just gotta put it in for about 10-second intervals and then just check to see how soft it is. All right, now we're talking. So we're gonna put it all in.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is that and the sugar.
Yeah, that's fine.
Put the sugar in.
So we're gonna let that mix for about a minute.
Timer's done. It's not done in
Okay,
life.
so stop it. We're gonna scrape down the sides of the bowl.
Ooh, that looks so good.
get all the butter down. And then our next step is to put in vanilla as well as our egg. So I can't really crack the eggs because of my nails, so Miriam, if you could do the honors.
Okay, let's put the egg in.
Yep. Our vanilla, so there's a teaspoon. And then we need to put in 1 more teaspoon. Now we're going to start mixing that again. We're going to gradually add the flour mixture in, and it's on low speed now. So I'm just using like a measuring cup to help me put it in.
Now the cookie dough is crumbly, so we're kneading it to get it into a big ball. This is so much work.
Yeah, it is. Imagine using an electric mixer by hand. That would have been tough.
Yeah.
I'm going to preheat the oven to 350 degrees Fahrenheit. Okay, we're going to start forming this into half of a ball. I like spanking it. So I'm just flattening it out with my palm, making sure that it's still intact. Now I'm going to place the other sheet of parchment paper on it. Sort of flatten it together. Take my rolling pin and start flattening it out. It's nice if you have a helper to help hold that down. I'm going to lift up the sides just to see the thickness. Okay, I think it is good.
We're gonna put it in the fridge for 25 minutes.
25 minutes, just to make it a little more, what's the word?
This could have been the perfect time to make the icing.
Yeah. We just popped the cookie dough out of the fridge, and so now it's nice and cold and it is stiff, so it doesn't break. We're gonna remove the first layer of the parchment paper. And we're going to shape the cookie dough using a knife. We're gonna cut this out into ice cream shapes, and I'm gonna try to use a measuring cup to sort of form the top of the cone, and then we're gonna sort of freehand it and cut out a triangular bottom. So let's test this out and see how it works. Then I'm gonna trace it over with the knife. Now, Miriam's going to remove the cookie dough.
We're gonna put this on the baking sheet we have ready.
And I'm just going to make sure that the sides were together. I'm gonna place our little ice cream cones on the baking sheet. I am just rolling the remainders into a ball again, and we're just going to repeat the exact same process. So roll it into a ball, place it on there, start patting it down with your palm, and then you're going to place the sheet on there and repeat the exact same steps. Today, for the purpose of this video, we're just going to create those 5 that we're baking currently, but typically this is what you would do to finish making the remainder of the batch. And then you're just gonna roll it out again. This time you're not gonna have to refrigerate it, and then you would just pop them in as well. We're just gonna wait for our other batch of cookies to finish baking, and then we'll show you how they look once they are done.
We put it in for 15 minutes.
Yeah, so we just pop them in the oven right now for about 15 minutes. We're gonna check in on them and see how they are doing. If they need to be put in for a little longer, then we'll leave them in for a few more minutes. So now that our cookies have completely cooled, we put some of the royal icing, the stiff batch, into our piping bag using a No. 2 Wilton tip. But we're just going to outline the bottom of the cone. Place some pressure. We've got the stiff peak.
Looks like that.
It's very thinly aligned. Let me just finish the border. Okay. So that when we put in the flood icing, it has a border there so that it doesn't overflow. We're gonna let that dry and continue doing that with the rest of our cookies.
And while you do that, should I make the flood?
Yeah.
Okay. So for the flood icing, you mix it on low and you just add some water in. Once you pull out the top right here, the icing should go back into itself in less than 3 seconds or 3 seconds. And that's how you know it's ready. So I'm just gonna put a little in there. We just finished putting the flood icing in here and it's already coming out, so we're just gonna quickly put it on there.
Yeah, just let it, drizzle in there. So you're just gonna fill that in, not overflow it because we do have a border. You're gonna take a toothpick and you're just gonna bring it all the way to the edges. It's actually nice working together making these cookies because there's
A lot of
quite some steps. Looks like with the flood icing in there, and now we're gonna let that dry. But while we let that dry, we're just going to do the cotton candy up top. I'm gonna use the stiff icing again. So we're just going to
Like lightly because
the
it
nails mess it up. Yeah. You're just gonna rip it apart.
We just finished and that's what it looks like.
The final product. So we've got our blue cotton candy sugar cookies and our pink one. So if you wanted to go ahead and add a little more of a design down here, you could do that.
Yeah, with the silver pearl dust. We're gonna test it out and try one. So you wanna take that one?
No, you do it.
You do it. Which side do I bite?
Any. How is it?
So good. It's like perfectly bit.
That's cute.
Yeah. It's actually so good.
I feel like the cookie dough itself isn't too sweet, so the cotton candy gives it just enough sweetness. Together, it tastes really good. Love it. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and hopefully you guys can try it out yourselves and try making it because they're totally worth it. They taste so good.
Give it a big thumbs up for the effort we put in because it took a bit of an effort to make these. Make sure you subscribe and comment down below if you would want to try them.
Let us know what you guys think. Thank you again for watching, and we'll see you guys next time with another video. Bye.